Involved in quite a spectacle tonight. How are you feeling after that?
Yeah, drained really. It was, the kick right on the 80-minute mark. It looked in for all money. I was right behind it, and it, for some reason, like he does kick with a slight hook, and for some reason it went back the other way and collected the post. So, look, it just wasn't meant to be tonight. Everything we did, they had an answer to. That's the game seesawed, and just I think defending with 11 and 12 men and just some things that went against us really drained us. We didn't have a lot of energy to come up with much with the ball, but you just can't doubt their courage and their commitment.
It was a draw, but does it feel more like a mini win or a loss to you?
Nah, it's hard to explain. I suppose no one likes to draw like 90 minutes of a battle. And you come out with an empty feeling. You ideally you want to leave with that winning feeling, but just really happy with what I saw. You don't really know what you've got till you're under real pressure, and they were under real pressure tonight against a really good side. Who have undefeated and had a win over Wigan. So you can't doubt the quality of the opposition. So happy in that regard, but I suppose you can tell by the way I'm talking, it's a little bit like backing each way. I don't bet each way.
There was quite a lot of talking points I think if we go into them, this press conference might last as long as the game itself did, but just those yellow cards, probably no complaints with the second one, but what about the first one, John?
Yeah, still getting my head around what actually constitute a sin bin. Because there's a couple after that where Leigh come up with a couple of high tackles and they weren't penalised. There was a crusher there that went on report but no penalty. So just trying to get my head around the consistency of it. It's a big play to lose a bloke to the sin bin. Not many sides win when they've got 12 even for only 10 minutes. So it's a big disadvantage for a team to have 12 men, especially when I just didn't think there was a lot of force in either one. But anyway, like I said, they're the rules. Just hopefully they go our way next week.
Was the biggest decision potentially the Briscoe foot on the line decision in Golden Point? What did you make of that?
Well, I'm still trying to understand it, that if his foot wasn't on the line, it should have been play on. Because if his foot was on the line, it's a penalty to us. So, I'd have to just get clarification on whether they come up with the wrong decision. For me, that's pretty black and white. If his foot is on the sideline, we get a penalty, and if it's not, it's just normal play on from a kick-off. So, I'm keen to sort of just get some clarity around that.
Do you think the result has been changed by the officiating tonight?
Oh, look, I'm trying to take that out of it. It was such a spectacle. I hope I'm not sounding like I'm blaming the referee, because I'm not. You go through a game and there's maybe a few decisions that you question, but both teams have got hundreds of decisions to get things right. So I certainly don't want to take away. My phone is absolutely full of messages from back home, just full of compliments for our boys, the way they sort of the courage that they displayed. So I don't want to take away from the spectacle that it was. It was a great crowd, and hopefully people watched it on telly and they were happy with what they saw.
Just want to ask you one more question about the process, if I may, though, because again, 50 odd minutes the first half, a very long second half. Are you fully up to speed with how the video refs' involvement in the game? Because it seems to be very high at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've got the camera angles that they do overseas. I've heard that may be a bit of an issue, so that they're not going to be able to change that anytime soon. It seems they're just not willing to make a decision. It always gets referred back to the referee. So I'm happy for it just to get rid of it. It's not going to happen, but because most decisions go back to the not conclusive, because nothing's conclusive. It depends on what angle you watch it at. You just got to make a decision and move forward with it, and I think everyone will be happy with that.
How pleased were you that you put on a real good show for your home supporters tonight?
Yeah, just the excitement of it all, and the score of the try in the last minute and the goal kick hitting the post. It was great drama, and I've only been here a very short time, but the fans that we get, the fans that came along last week, just made enough noise for a full stadium, and the crowd tonight. I've got no doubt that they lifted the players when physically they were just out on their feet. Just had nothing left to give, and the crowd that's our 14th player. It roared right when we needed it, and as I say, I've got no doubt that it really helped us towards the back end of that golden point.
Some massive efforts. The charge down by Leigh and Ashworth, the first one, then Brad Fash with that sort of exemplified what you're talking about, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. There was lots of little efforts that went into that under extreme fatigue. I just really happy with what we saw. Our challenge now is we're round 4 is to just keep replicating that. I thought with the ball it's the best we've been. It takes time to get that bit of your game right. A lot of things have got to happen for you to be sort of clinical there, and I thought that was the best that we'd consistent attack that we'd put on an opposition. So hopefully we can keep improving there as well.
Any injuries, John?
I'll have to go and check. There was a lot of sore bodies, as you can imagine. Hopefully just sore and a few bumps and bruises, and nothing major.
And just finally, is it a bit disappointing that you've got to wait now over a month for another game here at the MKM? Yeah,
I haven't looked at that too closely, but we're fortunate. We've got great fans. If we keep playing like that, we're going to get more and more and more will follow us to our away games. And like I say, they're worth points, and they're worth an extra man on the field to us.
Thank you,
John. In terms of everything that happened tonight, in terms of effort, grit, energy, what does that say about your side as a base for how far they can go this year? Because you get that as a mandatory expectation every game. Surely they can go a long way.
Yeah, if they can continue to produce efforts like that, save tries, and just keep turn up for each other. But and I'm like I said, I'm really excited with what I see, and I've got no reason to think that we won't keep doing that and getting better with the ball, and not be in positions that it's golden point, and and walking off the field after 80 minutes in front. That's. But the hard thing about getting your team to compete against the good sides is what they showed today. Is just saving tries, and we could have been better. I thought we gave a few. Not soft tries, they were really well constructed by them, but I thought that, there's probably a couple of just basic areas that we can get better and stop those tries. But every time there was a pressure situation, there was a black and white jumper in the screen, and that, as I say, that's very, very hard to get. You can talk about it, but at the end of the day, it's the players out there who are just that fatigued, they can't talk and can't breathe, and they still find a way to get there. So if you can get that across your side, you're becoming a good footy team.
You said that was the best that Hull have been with the ball this year. What particularly impressed
you? We just played football. I think I haven't looked at the stats yet, but I'm sure it was probably the most passes and the most support plays that we've had all year. Just by watching, I thought we really threatened them. There's a side there that held Wigan to no tries, and I don't know when that was the last time that happened. And Wigan's gone on and scored 40 on us and 40 on Warrington. So. They're a very good defensive team, and I thought, for the majority of the game, I thought we more or less outplayed them. I thought last week Huddersfield outplayed us, and we got a result. Well, that this week we at least 50-50 with the run of the game. I thought so. Yeah, we just got to turn up next week with the same grit and the same attitude. And that's in a long, hard season. That's the challenge.
It's Wigan next week, so it's a big one, isn't it? Challenge Cup game as well.
Yeah, playing their last two games, or the game against us. I wasn't overly concerned. You don't like losing like that, but I thought, I walked away thinking, wow, that's a good team. And they just sort of franked that when they went over to Vegas and did the same thing.
It's hard to pinpoint individuals after a game like that, but Herman Assese got the home man of the match. He was outstanding yet again, followed up from last week.
Yeah, he's playing big minutes, for a big man, and he changes momentum of a game. There's a lot of players that do their job, and they get through the game, but guys that can change the momentum, the more you have like that on the field, it's just hard to defend to. You know, he's a big, powerful thing. He bumps off people, he offloads, he plays the ball quick. You know, he pierced through there for a try. You know, he's a big weapon for us.
He gave a debut to Liam Knight tonight. How did you think he fared?
Yeah, we knew we wouldn't get a lot of minutes out. You know, he's had you know, in his sort of pre-season, he didn't have a club at home, so he did a lot of running, but just the tackling and the defence and the wrestle, he's missed a lot of that. He's naturally a pretty fit fellow. I thought he did well. You know, I thought he had some strong carries. He's a good communicator. He's a good team man, and you know, whatever we saw tonight, he's going to get better from.
John, just in that period where you had the sin bins, Leigh gave away a few penalties, which was quite important. Do you think that was a case of your team applying the pressure that caused that rather than not discipline?
Yeah, it's hard to say, mate. They just found energy when we had 11 and 12 men. You know, even the try they scored when we had 11 men, I thought we did a really good job to get numbers around the ball. You know, the guy that scored it he did a really good job to get his nose down over the try line. But I thought for us to get, with 11 men, to get 4 jumpers in and around that tackle and, you know, and be there fighting to get their hand under the ball, they're little things that, you know, you look at as a coach and think, you know, if you keep getting that sort of effort, it means something to them. You know, it means a lot to them.
John, does the senior leadership on show tonight in that performance, does that just underline how strong the recruitment was in the off-season?
Yeah, I got asked that question after the game by someone. Yeah, the recruitment. You know, you got to realise too that I think there was 10 or 11 guys that played tonight that were here last year as well. So, you know, everyone talks about sort of what, you know, what the damage or whatever that could have happened to the players. We've been playing the games with the majority of the team with guys that played last year. You know, so they're sort of growing as well, and it is on the back of the people that's been recruited around them for sure. You know, they spread that little bit of confidence. They give them confidence, and you know, winning a couple of games always helps as well.
Does a result like that, after a game like that, a result like that, what does that do for the team moving forward towards next week?
Yeah, hard to say. Like we've got a good turnaround, so that's one thing. We'll have a recovery tomorrow, and then they've got the weekend off, and then we still don't play till the Saturday. So.
Because Wigan play till Sunday, don't they?
Yeah, that's a bonus for us. You know, that's and coming back from Vegas is that's a big game you play over there. So there's naturally going to be a little bit of sort of coming down off that. I would imagine. I think it's happened in Australia last year when the sides come back. The next game was a tough one to get up for, but you know, we'll see what they're really made of this week. You know, I'm sure if anyone's going to be up for it, it'll be them boys.
Just one last question. When you're down to 11 men and you're battling against a team that are unbeaten, what does that say about the culture that is now within that team? Yeah,
there's not a lot of technique or technique that goes into stopping tries when you've got 11 men. There's guys defending in all wrong positions. You're always outnumbered. Simple as that. You're always outnumbered by sheer fact that the two boys are in the sin bin. So it's just finding a way, you know, working fast, working hard, being good in the tackle. A lot of little things go into that, and we had a bloke in the sin bin last week as well, and we came out the other side. And I thought, tonight again, we 2 guys in the sin bin, and we came out and sort of hit the lead in the second half, or drew level in the second half. So. Look, it's a long way to go. You know, it's a tough games like that. You find out what you're made of the following week. You know, so you can't live on that one. The fact is that it's a tough competition, and you've got to do that every week.
Is there anybody due that you've obviously brought Jed back in tonight? Is there anybody else that would be borderline possible to return?
I think Zach will be close. Zach Hardick will be pretty close. The 2 big boys that we brought in, they can't play this week because it's a Challenge Cup game. So, Sam won't play because he's come from Wigan. Liam played in a cup game, I believe, for Castleford. So it will be a little bit without the middles that are brought in. I think only Liam Knight will be available.
No, just one quick one. When the players and fans come together like that, it's a powerful thing, isn't it?
It's magic, mate. Yeah, it really is. So it's yeah, whatever's happened in the game. You know, when that happens, you just got to stop and feel good. You know, I'm sure. You know, you can see. Well, the fans are just the noise they make is. You know, and the players really appreciate it.